On Sunday, the president announced measures putting the country into stricter lockdown and closing all institutes of learning by the end of the week. In Johannesburg, UJ and WITS have moved most of their academic plans online, limiting physical access to campuses. However, residences remain open as some students' home environment is not conducive to distance learning.
You go back to the communities, there is issue of connectivity, electricity, load shedding. There's problem with water, but mostly the issue of crime in Olivenhood, because now where I come from, like the crime rate is very much high to a point that when they see you coming back from varsity holding your bags, you become a target because they know that there is a laptop in your bag, there's a phone in your bag as well. They end up following you and going to your houses.
With the more contagious Delta variant affecting the youth more, universities have had to adapt to ensure safety.
The majority of our examinations are online, but there are some that had been scheduled to take place in person. In this regard, we are either rescheduling these exams for August 2021, postponing them in some instances, and in other instances, these assessments will transition to an online mode. Unfortunately, we are not in a position to keep libraries open any longer as regulations prohibit this. We do have about 5,000 students who are staying in residences. These are students who are staying in residence alone. They are not sharing any facilities. In terms of dining halls, we don't have any sit-down meals being offered. All our meals will be takeaway, and students can collect them and eat them in their respective rooms.
UJ has imposed a curfew between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m., but student bodies are not convinced.
The response of the University of Johannesburg's management since the pandemic started has been that has left a somewhat mixed reaction. In that efficient measures were put in place, sanitizers and social distancing protocols, but however draconian measures were also taken in place. For instance, the university placed its own 7 o'clock curfew, which we as the SRC totally denounced and rejected on grounds that they did not consult with us. Students are still busy with academics and even labor errands. Some of them are coming back from work at that time. So we totally rejected it. Another issue was a few weeks ago, one res had to be put on isolation. It was a female res because a number of cases were coming out from that res. But however, adequate measures were not put in place in terms of food.
Universities, which could be potential super spreaders, have been urged to act responsibly.
Under no circumstances should any mass social or other activities be permitted in residences or on campuses during this period, and institutions are requested to strictly enforce restrictive measures. In strictly enforcing these measures, we request everyone to cooperate and to work together.
With the vaccine rollout still slow, universities are looking for alternatives to traditional assessments to allow the academic year to continue. Hasina Gori, SABC News, Johannesburg.